Hi, welcome to my revival. It's Moving Monday. It's actually Monday. And it was a little rainy yesterday. I walked 2.18 miles last week on purpose. I walked less because I don't know if any of you have ever had shin splints, but I went through high school playing tennis. I've had shin splints, and I know when they start, it's kind of a nag, maybe I'll push through it, but that's the wrong thing to do with a shin splint because they get worse, then they get very painful. I've had crutches a few times in high school, but that's because I was playing tennis 2 times a day on, a hard court tennis court, and if you're growing, So I have this extraordinarily steep incline of a hill I have to go down and up to walk a good distance. I mean, I've done hills, but the road directly, near my house has a steep incline. And at first I couldn't figure out why was I getting shin splints. I was walking in California, didn't get any. And I know with hills you use different muscles and things, but I just decided to pay attention to when it sort of twinged. They don't really twinge, when I sort of felt it. And there's a steep sort of curve right near my house. Oops, didn't wait for my dog. It's hard to walk and watch your dog and talk on a video. I guess it's like patting your head and rubbing your belly at the same time. And it wasn't really raining, and now it's beginning to just come down. This might be a shorter video in case I have to put the phone away. Anyway, what you do with a shin splint to make sure it doesn't get worse is you don't walk on it. So I purposely took a couple days off of don't go up and down the road. And then I thought, maybe there's one other direction I can go, but it's short. That doesn't have that incline. I did that once, but for instance, right now, I'm on the incline. And it's not sore like it was, but I think my ankle and everything have to get used to the pitch of the road. And so it was just a little bit, So I only walked, like I said, 2.18 miles. Then purposely gave myself just some short little 0.1 walk-arounds on the flatter part for a couple of days just to get the dog out and get me out a little bit, but not like right here. I'm going to go up another pitch again, taking the lowest part of it. But this is the first day I've even come down here in 4, 5 days, I think. So yeah, welcome to Moving Monday. Are you moving? Did you do something this week? I have people telling me they're walking on different days or moving on different days. I had somebody apologize. I only did such and such, and I said, only? I don't know if I told her this, but it's not an only, it's a yay. Did you move? Then it's a yay. Look, you may be of a certain age, or you may be of a certain mobility, or a certain weight and what your knees can take, or you've had a back injury. Look, if you're moving maybe a little, and it's a little more than before, pat yourself on the back because you're starting. And you don't want to start too heavy anyway, because it might get discouraging if you get sore or hurt something. So don't do that. Always check that's a beautiful bird. Always check with your doctor or, know your body. Don't hurt yourself. This is a move start. But speaking of which, I thought about a few weeks ago in my weight maintenance class, the exercise physiologist talked to us about strength training. And I was really excited about it, but I've misplaced my notes. I can kind of tell they're in one of 2 or 3 spots. And that's what I hate about being disorganized. I'm not into clutter anymore. So, I have a little bench I got, and we got some little yoga mat things. I'm trying to figure out where that paper is, where I can go over a website that he said currently is still free, that has great different levels of exercises to do different things. And he was actually really specific. And I thought, good, because I need to do strength training because I'm going to be prone to osteoporosis. Raining harder. I wonder if it's showing up. I don't think so. It's getting on my screen a little bit. Anyway, it is also about being so cold and me not wanting to do the shin splint thing. And I've also noticed, on the diet worked a very specific way. They wanted you to kind of, okay, don't get this the wrong way, but for brevity, kind of lazy walk. They didn't want you burning and popping out of ketosis. It was very specific. So I was doing these sort of strolls, sort of like what I'm doing now, a little shorter, but I wasn't like hot footing it or trying to walk quickly or jogging. It was they don't want you to do too much. They just want you to you had to find your sweet spot. I'd walk 5, 10, 15-minute walks like this speed I'm doing now. And you know what? Kept losing. And it was nice, but I think it not lulled me into a sense of complacency. But then the second you go to maintenance, it switches. And it becomes the amount of exercise you do and types affect how, excuse me, I didn't put my Kleenex in the correct pocket to maneuver well, but how much more exercise you need and different variety of exercise to maintain your weight loss. So me walking these walks is great, but it's probably not going to do the job. I've adjusted now. It's probably not going to do the job I need for my goal, which is, again, to reverse the direction of the scale of my weight. So again, I'm going to look into those. I'm going to find that strength training paper I took notes on about the types of exercises that might be good for me. And I'm going to go and check it out. I'll let you know, because Moving Monday doesn't have to be me walking or you walking, especially with the winter. If you're in winter, it can be something you do indoors, right? Probably should be something you do if it's really cold. It's just above freezing. It was 32 and it went up to 33 degrees. So an ice rain hasn't, snow, they were calling it something, my husband said. I wasn't really paying attention. But it's got a little rain. Who knows how cold it'll get after sunset. Not that I can see the sun. Anyway, I'm excited to share with you and talk to you today. I'm really feeling pretty good today. I got up and put my crock pot on. Some meal prep today. I made some pork chops yesterday. Today's chicken. And then another chicken, which is going to be yummy with spinach and mushroom. And for those of you who hate mushrooms, because many of you love them, I hate the texture, I like the flavor they bring. But you know it's a good recipe if there's like a box of sliced mushrooms on there, and I still think it's delicious. Don't know the name of it because didn't jot that down when I kind of copied it from somewhere. It could have been in Lisa at Sutton's Days Facebook group. It was a while ago. Car and dog and rain. And a barking dog at the car. You have one of those leashes that can extend or contract, at will. We're running into my husband. We're crossing paths, and my dog has noticed. We missed a husband spotting. We're both out walking today. We've both gained a little weight. So I've made a decision about, well, it's all tied in to the goals and the success of what I want to accomplish and how I'm living. You know how I was watching a show. It was a movie, a documentary on somebody who became an alcoholic and said, you know, a parent or an aunt or someone said, you know, it runs in our family, you really have to quit that stuff. And he was saying, I know. And I've been saying for months, I know. It just hit me. I had an addicted parent. I made sure not to smoke or drink alcohol because I knew it destroyed our family. Alcoholism did. And maybe just dysfunction in general, but I vowed I would never. So to learn from, say, books like Salt, Sugar, Fat, the scientific design they've gone to make sure foods are craveable and addicting, to find out that the addiction I actually got was what I have to eat every day no matter what. Frustration isn't the word. Kind of anger. Because, and by the way, I don't toss the word addiction about food out lightly. I'm talking about the way they brain map how fast it takes to get sugar to your brain and how fat gets to your brain. If I eat some kind of fast food, granted there's sugar in it, but every connection, like I've said before, has fat. It isn't that one meal. I will then spend 3 to 4 days craving more. And that's a fight I don't want to do anymore. It's easy to say I don't want to let the food control me. It's intention, I've learned, is far different than implementation. So my new goal is to not go get fast food for weeks. And the further I go, well, like not go any day and just cheer me on every day I don't get it, but not only that, tell myself you can retrain your palate, which I've done already prior to my fast food connection coming here. It's not Arkansas's fault, it was my choice fault. It was the timing is all. But I just am going to try to tell myself when I emotionally, or because I'm tired, or because I'm happy, or all those emotional choices, feelings, I'm going to say, you're trying to get distance between you and fat, unhealthy fats. Interesting thing, you have to have fat. You have to have some fat. It coats your cells. It's good for your brain. I am talking about the kind that I don't need. None of us need, right? I'm not talking about a healthy cold express olive oil or avocado. I'm talking about fries and what they're fried in. That kind of thing. Getting a shake who knows what's in that shake, right? But I know it's fat and sugar. So it might be an interesting transition. I like I said, I'm meal prepping today. And we had to do a very inexpensive shop while we wait for a check. So I just sort of am using what's in my pantry. If you don't know about Project Pantry, you should go check out Sutton Stays. She's all over it and she's fabulous. I just looked at what the meat I had in the freezer. I had some sprouted quinoa left. I have to start finding a new source for my sprouted brown rice and sprouted quinoas. They were best in September. I'm going to cook one and see. It's December. Didn't say use by. It said best by. But I'm going to be careful about my complex carbs. Try and eat more metabolically. Try not to have complex carbs for dinner or after. If I'm going to have bread or rice or something, I'm going to try and have it for breakfast or lunch, not dinner. I'm going to try and get my actual actions back in the game and not my thoughts and intentions, and then have denial and be like, yeah, I know. Because people who are addicts saying, I know, and don't change it, they often end up dying. And I already nearly did. And God gave me a second chance. And I'm not beating myself up, I'm just saying, I'm a born-again Christian, and not proselytizing, but Jesus told Christians to remember him by having communion. And I've wondered before in the past about it. I wonder why, I wonder the significance of... I thought about it this week, though, because I thought very similarly, or a parallel, I thought back to what I'd done. I lost 385 pounds in 2 years. I got to a goal weight that was good for me. I fought hard every time there was a get-together, every time there was a holiday. I never went off that diet. And I figured it out, that I was really focused. And my teacher tried to tell me, you still need to be focused, just to have a bit of a different, it alters a bit in maintenance. But I think similarly to, on a parallel, if you'll follow me, I'm walking, who knows if I'm saying it right. Remembering what Jesus did for me helps me focus on the amazing sacrifice he made, not having to do what he did, and he chose it because he loved me anyway. And remembering he did that is, you might say, the least I can do, right? And I thought, it's about a way to get us to focus. He cares about our minds and what we're focusing on. So, it made me think, Susan, just sitting here going, yeah, next week I'll do better, yeah. You didn't want to lie to yourself anymore. You didn't want to feed an addiction ever. You didn't know you were feeding an addiction because food labels, unlike cigarette labels, don't say caution, this could addict you. Which gets me into the whole, if every definition I found of food is actually nourishment or healing, and it never says you'll crave it or it'll be addicting, is manufactured food actually food, or should it be in quotation marks? That's my thing, is I ate all the bad food, I did it. No denial there, and I'll take all that responsibility. The thing is, if it had been labeled, would I? Because I was being really careful not to do cigarettes and drinking, right? I was being pretty careful. So if I still did it with those labels, it's all on me. You can say, well, yeah, you knew they were fatty or sugary, but we'll never know. I'm just saying, sorry if that was a veer, my focus should be remember what you've done. Appreciate what you've done. Don't throw everything away that you've done. And then what? Have more excuses later. Well, I didn't want to get higher weight again. Well, it's back to, the focus plus the implementation. Right now I'm going to go home, finish some meal prep, make some breakfast ideas, make that extra chicken. I have a beef thing I'm making, and I'm cleaning all of the lettuce I got and making salad prep things easy, because we do better, he and I, when we eat a salad a day, which might be thrown into those dinners. Anyway, so my foot and shin aren't hurting right now, and I went up and down the incline. The left one's where it was, and it's a little twingy, but I'm thinking it's just got to get used to the incline. So, yeah, those are my thoughts this week on not living in denial of what I'm doing again. It's not easy to run and get fast food. It's hard after. It's not easy to take what seem like shortcuts and say, oh, I'll do better. The better starts now, is I guess what I'm saying. So I hope you moved. If you didn't, I hope you move how you can, when you can, and I'll be back here hopefully next week. Maybe I'll have found those sheets, because I gotta get to work on getting stuff like that done. No more intend tos, right? Let's see if I can turn this off with my glove on. Have a good week.